him communicating with us. It was very hard for him to communicate. We went and got an autism diagnosis. She said that she wasn't quite sure that it was autism, that it could have been the apraxia of speech.
This child here is Nathanial, and I've been seeing him for probably 6 months or under.
He's gonna... Let's see, eat.
Being able to hear him speak those words is something I thought I wasn't gonna get to have with him. I want to say it started a little after he turned 1.5, 2. His words weren't completely there yet, and they recommended a speech therapist. So we started with speech, but we weren't really seeing improvement. So then we went and got an autism diagnosis. But it was for a year. We did a provisional diagnosis for autism. And then when we reevaluated him for the autism, she said that she wasn't quite sure that it was autism, that it could have been the apraxia of speech. So then from there is when we went to go get a different diagnosis for his speech delay.
And how do you explain the speech therapy and the apraxia treatments that you're going through to friends and family who are maybe just meeting Nathaniel for the first time or maybe curious about it?
The best way that I've been able to explain it is dyslexia, but without reading, with speaking. That's the best way I've been able to explain it for people to understand. Well, okay, almost done. Deal? You don't want to sit over there? You do want to sit over there? What do you want?
More toys.
More toys? You could ask him, you could say more toys, please.
I'm trying to sit along.
He can't hear you if your hands are in your mouth. Tell him, say more toys, please.
Debbie.
Please? You want to get that
You want
puppet?
to play with this? Because you could pop buttons. When you, knowing what you know now, are there some things that you wish you'd known at the start of your journey when you were first seeking the diagnosis and everything like that?
That there's a difference in the speech, the regular speech and apraxia-based speech. I always thought it was just the same thing, just different techniques. And after starting, they're two completely different approaches. And making sure you take your time and get the different diagnoses. It took us a minute to figure out that it wasn't the autism. It took us, like I said, a good 3 years to figure out what was causing the speech delay. But after figuring it out what it was relieving that we finally had an answer.
And what was some of the challenges that you saw in that early period?
I want to say him communicating with us. It was very hard for him to communicate and us try to understand what he wanted or what he needed. There's a couple times we butt heads a lot because we weren't understanding each other.
What did you feel like when you started noticing that, hey, we're actually making a difference?
You guys are gonna make me cry.
Sorry.
It's okay. No, I'm okay. Thank you, though. It made me feel proud. There was a time that I didn't think he was going to be able to speak. And so therapy with Laura has helped a lot, showing progress in him actually being able to form and speak these words. Yeah.
My name is Laura Smith, and I'm a speech-language pathologist in Denver, Colorado. I currently have a private practice where I'm specializing in childhood motor speech disorders, specifically childhood apraxia of speech. This child here is Nathanial, and I've been seeing him for probably 6 months or under. So he's relatively new to me and relatively new to just establishing a relationship and working on, new targets and treatment plan.
Can you sit on the X? Look, I'm on an X too. Look. Oh, I'm on an X and you're on
on an X. Can you sit on yours? Cover it up so we can't see it. Yeah, good job. Yay! Good job, Nathaniel. Okay, we'll move these. Here, let me get my caterpillar ready. I'll let you see him after, okay? It's gonna be fun. You're gonna like it. Okay, in the light of a moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up. What did it do? It came up. I'm attempting to use what's called a sign cue. So sign cues can be a gestural way to cue a word. So in this case, I'm pointing up, but a lot of times I'll use sign cues even with words like help. And instead of me saying, say help, I'll be like, what do you need? You need. And if they know the sign for it, then they will, it'll help. It's like we say motor helps motor. So a lot of times the sign or the physical gesture will also help get the word out. In his situation, he needed the model still, but I was attempting to do a sign cue.
Some of the things that we've done with Laura in sessions is getting him to finish his words with like a T at the end, like eat, for him to get that T at the end, because he says E, but he doesn't quite get the T. So making that tapping sound at the end of certain words has helped a lot, and something that we've used at home to help him as well.
I know there's such fun stuff in here. I changed it up so you'd have a super fun time. But he was still hungry. On Thursday, he ate through 4 strawberries. You find the strawberries? No? You can. Keep looking. You got it. Those are oranges. That's watermelon. Kind of matches, but it's pink and these are red. Where are 4 red strawberries? There you go, Nathaniel. Good job. Okay. And what's he going to do? He's going to eat. Yeah, you got it. Yay, so that's exciting because I used a sign cue, I didn't give him a model, and he included the T on his own. So again, just playing this dance of how much can I pull away and he'll still be able to get accuracy of the target.
Laura had mentioned to me before that with Apraxia that Nathaniel might be able to say blue now, but in the future still get his words mixed up and not necessarily say blue. Like if he sees blue, say purple instead of blue, which he knows blue is blue. Just that other people would understand that sometimes those words might not come to his mind.
This documentary is sponsored by Goalie. Transform your child's daily routines with Goalie's daily skills system. Empower them to master self-care and independence. If you're a parent working on your kid's executive functioning challenges, discover a solution at getgoalie.com. Save 10% on your Goalie with code FINDINGWORDS.
There you go. Good job. Put it right there. Okay, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? You say. Let's see. Eat. Again, I'm trying to get an independent production minus my model because he is very good at just repeating after my model. So I attempted the pause technique, that didn't work. I attempted a sign cue, that didn't work, so I had to give him the model. But as clinicians with childhood apraxia speech, we are also doing this dance of fading cues because as wonderful as cues are and how much we need them to help the child, they all have to be faded in order for the child to have achieved true motor learning of the target. So we're always doing this little dance of, can I fade even more? Can I fade even more? But he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 5 oranges. Okay, where's the oranges? Good. Right there. Good talking. Okay, yep. He's going to eat your finger if you don't put him down. Okay, let's tell him to eat. Good, Nathaniel. But he was still hungry. Oh my goodness. Look at all this stuff. Can you match? All the food. Can we match them? I'll help you. You want to do all of them? Okay, who wants to do all of them? Can you tell Laura? Me. Good. Not meat, just me.
Me.
Wait, Nathaniel, hold on. Look at Laura. Just say me. Okay, this is important, what he just did here. So I was working on a VC EAT with him throughout this book. We're doing mass practice of EAT. The reason why in a treatment plan for apraxia you have differing syllable shapes, meaning I have some words ending in a consonant, some words ending in a vowel, is because you can get what's called overgeneralization really easily. So if I was only working on one syllable shape or pattern, so if I was only working on CVC words or VC words, which are words that end in consonants, you might see what he just did and not even realize it as a therapist, that they will start adding a consonant to words that it doesn't belong, that they've been able to say correctly before.
Good. Not meat, just me.
He can say me. I know he can say me. This is not a word that is hard for him. So the fact that he said meat was like immediately only concerning in the sense that I have to catch it right away, and it lets me know that I have to make sure that I don't stick on that VC for much longer, or that I change it up. Otherwise, he might generalize it to other words. So that's why I also didn't let it go. He said meat, then he said mean.
Means.
Wait, Nathaniel, hold on. Look at Laura. Because we've been working on and in. And so yes, I drew his attention to make sure that we got me back and like, yes, that's how we do it.
Just say me. Yeah, there you go. Okay, go ahead, keep doing it.
What would you tell a parent who's maybe even further behind, just getting started on the diagnosis? What would you want to tell them?
To be patient. That's one thing I wasn't at first, was patient. And the words come in time, so definitely patience. You're a brat.
It's so important that consistency with apraxia sessions in practice, especially in the early stages, that consistency and frequency is so important because children are at risk for losing skills that they have acquired in the therapy sessions. So this is still, there's not a great formula. There's not a one-size-fits-all formula for how much practice a child needs or how much frequency. So many variables come into play, including some children won't let their parents practice with them. They'll say, "You're not my speech therapist." Most do by having them in the session. They realize we're all a team working together, so I don't run into that as much when I have parents in the session with me. But yeah, it's really important that and that's again why you are strategic in your planning of the treatment plan and why you have a small but like hearty functional word list, is because you are maximizing the amount of opportunities for repetition so that you don't have regression or lose skills that were gained.
This documentary is sponsored by Goalie. Finally, a tablet with your child in mind, free from ads and toxic junk. Goalie's system builds independence and communication skills. Now it includes an AAC Talker app with every purchase of the Daily Skills System. Go to getgoalie.com and save 10% on your Goalie tablet with code FINDINGWORDS.
So as you kind of went through the process of initially trying to get the different diagnosis, and then now you're working with Laura for about 6 months, how has that affected you and Nathaniel and your family as you've gone through this journey?
I want to say it's affected us more for the better. Before it was always mom that had to interpret things, but now that he's actually forming these words, everyone else in our household is starting to understand him, so they're able to help me and him out more.
And how have you seen the family kind of like celebrating this progress and stuff too? Do you see like the different people in your house kind of celebrating as he's learning new words, and how does that all kind of come about?
They just try to be, I forget the word, consistent with trying to make him say words. And then if he says it, or even if he doesn't say it correctly, they always tell him like, "Good job, Nathaniel, like your words are really getting there." So they just award him with like praise that his words are coming along.
Pie. That's sausage. This is pie.
Huh?
This is pie.
Brat.
Wait, don't get a tap on the end, just pie.
Brat.
Pie. I heard pie. Good job.
The reason I accepted that was simply because he didn't put the T on the end. So similar to the other word where he added the T where it didn't go, I'm not interested in the diphthong right now. I was very interested in that he's not overgeneralizing a final consonant.
Cake.
Fall.
It fell. Yeah, fall. I heard that. He's going to.
Yeah, so recasting is another technique that is not necessarily related to apraxia, but it's something we do for language. So he said fall instead of it fell. I wouldn't necessarily expect him to have a regular past tense here, but I recast it to be the appropriate model of the word. So like, yes, it fell, and then emphasize what would be the appropriate way to say that grammatic form.
What are some of the things that you've noticed are the best ways to tell him, hey, I'm trying to help you and be there for you. I just don't know what you're trying to tell me right now. Like, what are some of the things that have worked for you?
I'll tell him that I understand that he's mad or angry or upset or something, and that I hear him, but I don't understand why he's upset or mad or why we're getting so angry.
Ah, there you go. Good job. We got it. Who is this?
Cha.
Is this Ramon?
No.
Oh, this one's Bete. I put them in the wrong order now.
You're good.
Let's go. Pe.
Da.
No, with popping lips. Pe. Look at Laura's mouth. Look at me. Look at me. And then we're going to play this cool truck.
We gotta do our work.
Ready? Let's go. Pe.
Da.
No, watch Laura. Popping sound. Watch Laura's lips. Watch Laura's lips. Look at Laura. Pe.
Chi.
Watch Laura. Pe.
Ba.
Yes. Te. And then te.
Da.
There you go. Put it together. Pe. Te.
Da. Da.
Okay, good try. I heard te. Te.
So attention is something we can struggle with as SLPs. And I can just say again briefly that kids with apraxia have a difficult time with attention, particularly with eye contact a lot of times for two reasons. One is that it's anxiety provoking to have someone stare at you and to stare at them. But the other reason is it's really hard for them to think sometimes about the motor planning when they're being asked to stare directly in someone's eyes. So in this case, he's just distracted. And I can't rein him in no matter how many times I'm saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. And so had he looked at me, though, I think I would have been successful in getting the word. But especially since we got it broken up, I bet he could have put it together, but I just didn't have his attention. And sometimes we just have to let that go. I'm not going to say good job because I don't want to reinforce an incorrect production, but I am going to say, I like how hard you were trying. I could tell you were really trying, and move on. So he knows that, oh, he didn't say it right, because I don't want to reinforce him saying it wrong either.
And so then by showing, or kind of almost empathizing with him and just identifying the emotion, does that help him open up a little bit more to you, or at least like understand where you're at?
It calms him down a little bit. Sometimes I'll have to redirect him and tell him like, okay, show me again or tell me again. And we'll go back and forth a couple times trying to figure it out together.
I would say that now I don't realize I'm doing it, but I do remember earlier in my career, I have this thing where I get red if I'm embarrassed. I could probably make myself get red even right now if I think of something embarrassing. And so I would do it for kids and be like, I know, for a sense of camaraderie. Like, I know that you're really basically that they feel conscious, self-conscious of their speech. And so I would find something that they let them know I feel self-conscious about me getting red on demand or getting embarrassed. And they'd be like, whoa, they couldn't believe that would happen. I'm like, yeah, well, it's embarrassing. I don't want to be turning red. But now I think that I've done a lot of trainings and I give trainings on something called growth mindset. And growth mindset is all about we fail to go forward. So you fail forward, you accept failure as a way to move forward. And in fact, people who have done great things in their lives have been willing to take a risk and fail. It's the people who fail who have ultimately been more successful. So I think probably just internally, I have internalized that message for me as well. And then to just also let it be known that it's okay to make mistakes. And when they see you mess up, they think it's funny. And that's what we want, right? I don't want them to mess up and then feel self-conscious. I want them to mess up and it be okay, so.
I want to say breaking up those words for him, showing him how to break up the words to be able to say them has really helped. And I think has shown the most progress in his words.
Here, I can make you take it off too. Oh my heavens. Okay, there we go. You decide. Okay. So. Which one?
Ouch.
Pick a truck so that we could do your words.
Jump.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, we're gonna put that on your page, okay?
You want to do it? Oh, you want it on your hand? Sure, I can put them on you too. Who's this? Is that Nathaniel? Can you tell me it's me? Nice. There you go. Put it down on your hand. Who is that? So when a child has a long name like Nathaniel, even if they don't, it almost seems like a fate that the child will have a difficult time producing their name, even if it's a simple name. Even if it was Kate, you're going to have a child that can't say a K for some reason or something. So anyways, eventually I will, I have not with him yet, but we will move to a word approximation that will allow him to say some version of his name. I just haven't come up with that yet. It sounds to me, watching this video back, that he said Dan or Dan. I might move there and see if we can get that first and then add on. So haven't done that yet, but it was great that he said that because I've never heard him try to say his name before.
I'm not gonna lie, it's overwhelming, but being able to hear him speak those words is something I thought I wasn't gonna get to have with him. And so it's a joy to be able to have him speak on his own time.
We're going to follow Nathanial along in his journey and check in 6 to 12 months to see what progress he's made. Subscribe to our channel to see the next episode of Finding Words. Support our sponsor by buying or gifting a Goalie daily skill system for a child in your life. Go to getgoalie.com and save 10% with code FINDINGWORDS.